Welcome to the Orange City Literature Festival Book Review Podcast. I'm Munazanjum Faruqi and I'm excited to introduce a new segment featuring book reviews from the students of Nagpur. This is our 6th edition, and what better way to celebrate than by giving students a voice. Today, we're joined by a wonderful young reader, Abha Jog from MKH Sancheti Public School. Welcome, Abha. Please tell me the title and the author of the book.
The title of the book is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and it was written by J.K. Rowling.
How did you first get into the Harry Potter series?
I actually started watching the books first, and as I got more into the Potter universe, I decided that it would be better to read the original books first to get an idea of the story.
Do you have any favorite book in the series so far?
Yes, the Half-Blood Prince, the 6th part, is my favorite. I like the part because it has a mixture of romance, relationship, mystery and everything, while the other parts were only focused on adventure.
Can you describe the plot of the Half-Blood Prince for us, please?
There were actually 3 plot lines acting simultaneously. The first plot, which was mainly focused on, was about Harry and his mentor Dumbledore. We go through a journey with them while they discover Voldemort's past, the antagonist, and tell us about Horcruxes, which is basically Voldemort had divided his soul so that he can never die, and tell us about how to destroy them. The second plot was about Draco Malfoy, who was acting on Voldemort's order, continuously trying to kill Dumbledore in various ways like poisoning, etc. He did not succeed at the end, but he still intended to do it. The third plot is of the Half-Blood Prince, which is the book named after, and in that Harry finds a potions book which has dangerous spells and inscriptions written on it. Later at the end of the book, he finds out that the killer of his mentor Dumbledore was the one who had written the book. Half-Blood Prince was Severus Snape.
Very well put. You described the plot very concisely for our viewers. And before we dive deeper into the characters and stuff, J.K. Rowling has created this very intricate world. Is there any particular detail about the Wizarding world that you love the most?
I actually really like the creatures that they add, the magical beasts, because I like how they're inspired from real life animals but still have a little touch of magic to them.
Of course, the mythical, magical beasts, we also do read them about in many of the folklores, and to see them, read about them and then watch them in the movies come alive is really interesting to see. And you mentioned about Draco Malfoy. He has been chosen by Lord Voldemort. He has been assigned a task and he is under very great pressure. So in this book, did that, his internal struggle with himself change how you see him as a character?
From the first book, he was always considered a bully. In the 6th book, I did feel pity for him, but it did not change the opinion about the character overall, because at the end, he still was doing the wrong choice.
He still chose to do it despite stopping himself. We do feel a bit sorry for him. Now about Severus Snape, he is quite a complex character. So did you feel he is a hero, a villain or something in between, and why?
I thought he was a little bit of an anti-hero or a double agent, because his character is so complex that to explain the whole thing it's a lot. But in the 6th part, he's also helping Draco while being with Dumbledore as well. So yeah, I think he's an anti-hero.
He's quite an enigmatic character as well. Now, we do see a lot of plot lines simultaneously happening, and the book does tend to get a little bit darker than the earlier series. How did that feel for you as a reader?
The first few series were really meant for children, but the 6th book went into more killings and darker side of the wizarding world, like politics, etc. I thought that the 6th book adding the dark side just shows us how it is relatable to the real world. Like the real world has a good side and a bad side to it, but usually the stories are made from the good side's perspective. We got to know how the dark side also felt in this book.
We do see a prominent, because Voldemort's power is also reaching the Muggle world apart from the Wizarding world. So it is quite interesting to read about it as it happens. Now my question to you would be, who is the most misunderstood character in this story?
I think the most misunderstood character is Severus Snape, because usually there are 50-50, people hate him, people like him. But in personal opinion, I think at the beginning of the series, he was a character that you would despise. But as the series went on, he became more and more to the Dumbledore side and doing the right thing. So yeah, he's a pretty complex character.
We do get an inkling into his mindset as well. A little bit, not much. We do get to see his inkling of what he is thinking, of how he is operating, of being a double agent, being on the Voldemort side, and how he's strategizing and going through it. And if you had a chance to be in the wizarding world, be a character, and if you had the Marauders Map with you, where would you use it? How would you use it?
The Marauders Map was created by Harry's father, James Potter, Lupin Pettigrew, and Sirius Black. This map was originally created for sneaking around school, so I think I would follow the legacy and use it to sneak around school as well.
True that. It was because they were the mischievous sort, and the spells that activates the map itself is, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. So that gives us an inkling. You would sneak around Hogwarts and discover places. Would you go into the forbidden part of the library?
Yes,
that you're not supposed to go. Students are forbidden from entering.
I would definitely go there. I love to read stuff, so I think I would like to read the whole library as soon as I got there.
We also do get introduced to the room of requirement in this series. If you needed it for something very important, what would that room become for you?
So I am in a joint family, so there is always a lot of talk and a lot of noise. So I think I would like the room of requirement to turn into a library, so that I can just go in that cozy place and have some silent alone moments together.
Joint families do get a bit chaotic. It would be a place of solace to have your me time and read about it. And if there was one place in Hogwarts from the Half-Blood Prince that you could explore, where would you go to? Would it be Hogwarts? Would it be the Burrow, Boggin and Burks? Or something else?
I think it would be Gringotts Bank, because first of all there are a lot of creatures there, goblins, dragons, etc. And it also says that it is really hard to steal from the bank, so I would like to know what kind of security it has, and also I would love to see wizard currency.
We do get to see, in the movies they have picturized the Gringotts banks very well. It lived up to my expectations when I was seeing the movies. Have you seen the movies?
Yes, I've seen the movies.
That's how you got into reading books. We do get a lot of insight when we go from seeing the movies into the books. We get to know the little quirks, we get to know the peculiarities, and we get more insight into how the world works, how the author has weaved the world. Now, my question to you would be, if there was one thing that you could change about the book, be it a certain plot line or be it the ending, what would you do? Is there any part that you disliked? Would you like to change it?
I didn't like the ending at all. First of all, it left us on a cliffhanger. And second, Dumbledore's death. I would really like to change Dumbledore's death, because he was a father figure to Harry and was such an important character. Having such a simple, and he wasn't even armed when he fell down from the astronomy tower. So I think I would change that he has a wand and is able to defend himself. So that I want my favorite characters to stay alive.
True that. Harry loses his parents, then Dumbledore is the one who becomes that prominent figure who is guiding him, mentoring him and protecting him. And seeing as Harry also lost his godfather, Sirius Black, in the previous books, and then watching Dumbledore die right in front of his very eyes, it does bring you a lot of sorrow and despair, and it does seep into your bones and you feel that very close to your heart. So you would like to change that fact.
Yeah.
And if you could meet J.K. Rowling, what would you ask her?
First of all, I will get an autograph. Then I would ask her about, there are more continuing series. I would ask her if there is anything. There were a lot of characters that did not have a backstory, or they just came in the
first
parts,
few series, right.
And then they just disappeared. I would like to ask what happened to them before and after.
So you would like to know their story, delving into more of the side characters'
lives. It's
lives.
mostly focused on Harry Potter, but I would like to know about the rest of the characters as well.
And what is that one lesson that has stayed with you from this book?
This book has a lot of lessons in it, but I think the most important one is that you may want something to happen, but it would not turn out the way you want it to always.
So you should always be ready for all eventualities and ready to face the reality and accept it as well. Very well said. And if you could teach something at Hogwarts, what would be that subject?
I would love to teach defense against the dark arts. First of all, it is the subject that uses most wands and spells and it's practical. And on top of that, I just said that I really like fantastic creatures. And defense against the dark arts, it's half the thing is about how to defend yourself from those creatures. So I would love to teach about the things I like.
So spells and defense is what you would like to delve into and teach others, protecting oneself. Thank you. And if there is that charm, a spell, that is the Patronus charm, and it is the embodiment of hope, because the stimulus of it is one positive thought. So what would your Patronus charm be?
My Patronus, the animal, the spirit animal.
Yes, the spirit animal. What would your spirit
I
animal
think
be?
it will be a dolphin.
A dolphin.
Because they are creatures that do not like to be alone. They're pretty extroverted, and they also are the symbol of positivity. So I think that they're really like me, that's why.
So your spirit animal, your Patronus charm would be a dolphin. Thank you so much, Abha, for joining us and sharing your insights into the Harry Potter world. To our listeners, mark your calendars for 22nd, 23rd and 24th of November for the Orange City Literature Festival happening at Chitnavis Center. Meet over 100 authors from across India and dive into 3 days filled with books, discussion and inspiration. Don't miss it. Thank you for tuning in. Join us the next time for more reviews from our city's budding book lovers. Until then, happy listening and happy reading.